when you tell a group of children to do something or not do something, you should expect that, let's say, more than half of them will more or less do what you're telling them to do, but there will always be someone who will question what you say, or they don't want to do it, or you need to have a second strategy, or at least two different strategies, maybe three, because you also some of the children you know how they react, so you know that you have to adapt to that particular child. You can't just assume that all the children will react to what you say in the same way. Some of the children who continue to talk to other children, or they walk around in the classroom, or they will sit with their legs or feet on the table, you have to approach individual children and have a dialogue with them and explain to them, now I want you to sit down, be quiet, don't disturb the others, and do you need help? Then I'll help you with the exercises to start with. Some of the children will ask immediately, can I work with my best friend? Can we sit together as a group and work together? Because I would like to do that. Or can we leave the classroom and sit outside in the hallway? Because we usually have some chairs and tables out there. There's some little study zones. Can we sit outside the classroom? Or may I use my smartphone? Can I have the smartphones are usually locked away during the day. Can I have my smartphone and put in listen to music on my earphones while I work, because I work better that way. So that's the kind of request that you will get from children. Their argument is, I feel more comfortable, it's more fun for me, and I work better if I can sit outside or I can listen to music. Then we'll usually let them do it. That's our way as professionals, as teachers, of accepting diversity, accepting different behavior, different learning styles. That's more important to us than keeping to strict rules and forcing all the children to do things the same way and do them the way that we tell them to.
基本的にはもう先生がいて、生徒はみんなこの先生が黒板に書いたことをやっぱり一生懸命覚えるっていう形だったり、授業中は基本的に静かに、今は少しアクティブラーニングっていうキーワードも大学とかだと多く増えてきてる感じしますけど、中高だともしかしたら授業のスタイルちょっとずつは変わってるかもしれないけど、どうでしょう。もし現役の先生いたらぜひコメントください。
Incorporate a lot of IT-based learning. It's also a way of engaging active learning, because the children are much more engaged and or active in their own approach to the learning setting. The children don't have to, they're not forced to, remembering facts.
一人、学童施設で働いています。学校の先生は高圧的にコントロールする傾向は強いと思います。学校の先生は怒ると怖いと子供がよく言っています。怒ることでコントロールしやすいからではないか。これ一つ目。この方、先生ではないけれども、授業参観に参加して、子供たちからの意見や子供たち同士の学びを引き出す授業が多くなったと思います。先生がファシリテーター、小学校で2年くらい前からやっている。
Well, you need to decide what is the objective. Why are you learning? If you're learning for an exam, if you're learning something to pass an exam, then one strategy could be to try to remember as much as possible for just 1 or 2 weeks and then pass the exam. But most of what you have tried to learn will actually disappear again. So a much more efficient learning style, if you're learning for life, if you're actually trying to acquire skills that you can use later in life, is active learning. It's engaging yourself in the thinking process and asking questions, wondering why is this like this, trying to understand actively.
日本では受験突破のためにどれだけお金をかけて塾や予備校で勉強するかが大切になるので、勉強する機会の平等性という意味ではデンマークと正反対って言ってますね。
you have to study hard to have a good chance in life to get into a good secondary school, a good high school, a good university, and eventually have a good job with good conditions. In Denmark, the children are not under the same type of pressure to achieve the best they can academically. That's a huge difference.
なんか私自身がこうデンマークでいろんな教育の施設を見学させてもらったり、デンマークのファミリーとねホームステイをする中でものすごく本質的な会話がすごく多かったなって思うんですね。こう単に知識とか聞いたことを話すんではなくて、自分の中で咀嚼して自分はこう思うっていうことをすごく話していたなって思うんです。でこれもしかしたら教育だけじゃなくて家庭の在り方とかもすごく思う、なんかヒントがね日本とデンマークが違う部分があるんじゃないかと思うんですけど、そのクリティカルシンキングの考え方とかを子どもに教えるんではなくて日常の中でそうやってやってると思うんですけど、そのあたりはどんな工夫をされてるかって説明してもらったりできますか？
A lot of children, like for instance, the parents will say, tonight we're going to have spaghetti bolognese. Then some children will say, no, I don't like that. Can we cook something else? Or, they will, that's the same kind of, it's not even critical thinking. In the beginning, when you're younger, when you're a small child, that's more like a spoiled approach to life. No, I don't want that. Can I have something else? The older you get, the more responsible, hopefully, you become. And then it's more critical thinking that you're questioning, why do we have to do this? Wouldn't we achieve just as much or even better if we did it a different way? That's like a productive type of critical approach to life message, and we're engaging in a dialogue. I'm trying to realize, is this child is it a spoiled child who just questions what I ask them to do, or does he or she have a good point? Is she actually thinking critically about how she could achieve better in a learning situation? Because we also, yes, we want to encourage innovation. We want children who are smart and innovative and approach life and learning in a unique way and achieve something. Yes, we want that. It used to be that the teacher is in charge of teaching. The teacher's role, the teacher's responsibility is to teach the curriculum to the children. Now that's changed to the responsibility of the teacher is to facilitate the best learning for each child. And that means we have to adapt to different personalities, different learning styles. It's actually a part of the job now. The teacher is supposed to make it as clear as possible to the pupils what they're supposed to learn. So when they start a new topic, they're supposed to set some learning goals, also written out, and they can hang them on the wall in the classroom. This is what you're supposed to take away from this. This is what you're supposed to learn from this. We don't have written exams every week, but the teacher will assess the individual child. They will kind of monitor them and see how well they're learning. And then they will try to accommodate to that and try to support the child the best they can. The teachers, they also communicate with the parents. There's an interaction between the teacher and the pupil and the parents to try to make the best settings for learning.
ちょっと私も今感じたことを改めて思ったことがあるんだけど、なんかこのデンマークの教育と日本の教育の大きな違いは、やっぱこう知識教育っていうか知識のところを育てていこうっていう日本の教育ってすごくこう答えが一つにやっぱりなりがちな感じがすごくするなと思っていて、デンマークは一人一人違う人を育てていくってことをやっぱりこうやってるのかなっていう感じがすごくするんですね。教科学習もやってるんだけど、そこよりも最終形態がみんな同じことを知っていてみんな同じようにできるではなく、 みんな違うことができて、みんな違うことに興味があって、それぞれ違う人を作っていくっていう、ここになんかね、この教育の目指しているところの大きな違いを感じましたね。
The goal of the learning is maybe set up like they should be better at seeking information. They should be better at being critical about the information that they find in the resources, and then they should put together something that shows that they have learned something, like a presentation. But that kind of task is much less strict. It's not just there's one answer that you should reproduce. It's not a kind of reproducing facts type of exercise. It's more a skill set that you can use later in any kind of approach to an exercise or to an assignment. That's also the way that you would later work in your work life. You have to be critical about information that you find online or in resources in books, and then you put together something that is your selection of the facts that you found.